Good afternoon and welcome to Red Emmons Field on the campus of Tusculum University in Greenville, Tennessee for non-conference softball action today as the Pioneers host the Lee University Flames. I'm Jim Miller. I'll have the coverage of today's doubleheader. It's a non-conference doubleheader, the final non-conference doubleheader of the season for the Pioneers, who have gone 13-8 outside the conference this season, 10-10 inside the South Atlantic Conference, with two important doubleheaders yet to go here in the regular season. But first things first is today's doubleheader against Lee, which comes in with an overall record of 23 victories against 17 losses. Lee is 14-9 in the Gulf South Conference. They are coming off a weekend series in which they took three in a row from Christian Brothers at home, winning by scores of 9-3, 22-11, and 8-0. King has played two doubleheaders against South Atlantic Conference teams this season. They played Lincoln Memorial on the road way back on February 9th. They split that doubleheader. And then Carson Newman they played on the road on April the 6th, and they split that doubleheader as well. Tusculum, meanwhile, is taking on its first Gulf South Conference opponent of the season. Tusculum in Game 1 will send Keelan Reynolds to the circle. The sophomore will be getting her first start in a little while, and she will be opposed in Game number 1 by Madison Barnett for Lee, who will come in with a record of 8-9. The starting lineups for today's first game. For Lee, they will lead off with Brianna Patton playing third base. Anna Maka will play in left field, bat second. Taylor Deatter, the first baseman, hits third. Javaria Smith in right field bats fourth. Sydney Lee, a designated player, hits fifth. Riley Goodridge, the catcher, bats sixth. Alexa Scalzo at shortstop hits seventh. Lainey Harris at second base hits eighth. And Shelby Cole in center field hitting ninth with Madison Barnett in the flex. Lee coached by Emily Russell, the only coach in program history in her 20th season. For Tusculum, they will line up this way. Maya Maddox leading off in center field. Callan Newport, the left fielder, bats second. Haley Lazo at first base hits third. Chloe Freischmidt will catch and bat fourth. Claire Smeltzer in right field hits fifth. Anna Alloway, the designated player, bats sixth. Hannah Hughes at second base hits seventh. Alyssa Suits at third base batting eighth. And Caitlin Hodges, the shortstop, bats ninth, with Keelan Reynolds doing the pitching. Chilly day here at Red Emmons Field, 51 degrees, the wind blowing out to right about 10 miles an hour. It would be definitely feel like
the Lee University Flames and the Tusculum University Pioneers. Now for today's starting
Tusculum is coming off a doubleheader split on Friday against Queens. They lost Game 1 4-3 in 9 innings and won Game 2 in 6 innings by a score of 8-0. Behind a complete game shutout from Ireland Kavanaugh, who allowed just one run in 2 starts last week. Tusculum has split its last 3 doubleheaders. Pioneers 17-6 at home this season. Lee is 12-8 on the road.
Batting eighth, the second baseman, number 18, Lainey Harris. Batting ninth, the center fielder, number 1, Shelby Cole.
The Lee starters being introduced. Lee wearing the white uniforms with blue numerals and red trim. Tusculum wearing their orange uniforms today with white numerals. Glad you could join us today on the Pioneer Sports Network for this doubleheader. Game 2 will follow about 30 minutes after the conclusion of game number 1. The pitchers for this doubleheader, Keelan Reynolds comes in with a 3-1 record, a 4.89 earned run average. She'll be making her 5th start of the season. For Lee, Madison Barnett will be making her 17th start. She's 8-9 with a 4.84 earned run average. Lee is a team hitting .310 this season. Tusculum hitting .302. Lee's team ERA 4.12. Tusculum at 3.07. This should be a good doubleheader. Both teams just a half game off of each other as far as overall record goes. Interesting action will be on the out-of-town scoreboard today, as there are a couple double headers involving South Atlantic Conference teams, and we'll update you on those throughout the course of the day. Carson Newman leads Coker 5-2 in the 7th inning in Game 1 of their doubleheader. Anderson is playing at Queens today in doubleheader action as well, as we pause for our national anthem. Our national anthem prior to the start of softball action today between Tusculum and Lee. Keelan Reynolds will get the start for the Pioneers, making her fifth start of the season, a 3-1 record, a 4.89 earned run average. She has thrown one complete game, 34 to third innings, 60 hits, 24 earned runs, 15 walks, 33 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .361 against Reynolds, a sophomore out of Kingston, Tennessee. Reynolds has pitched her last 6 games in relief. Her last start was March the 1st against Converse here at Red Edmonds Field, which was an 11-3 Tusculum victory. She went 5 innings that day, allowed 5 hits and 3 runs with no walks and 5 strikeouts. So since then, Reynolds has been pitching in relief. Her last appearance was March 29th at Anderson in what was a 12-6 loss. She took the loss in that game, went 2 1/3 innings, gave up 6 hits and 8 runs. 4 of them were earned. That was her last appearance, and she'll get the start here today as she will face Brianna Patton to lead it off. Patton hitting .386, 2 home runs, 27 runs batted in, the junior out of Jasper, Tennessee. Reynolds with the windup, and the first pitch of today's ball game is taken for a ball at 2:58. Always good to start 2 minutes early. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Patton. Next pitch is low and in for a ball, 2 balls and no strikes. Patton leads the team in hits with 49, also leads the team in doubles with 13, and her .386 batting average is also tops on the team. 2-0 from Reynolds is hit to second, off of Hughes into right field. That'll be an error. It was hit hard, but it was hit right at her, and Hughes just could not make the play. So the leadoff batter reaches on an error, and it'll bring up Anna Maka, the left fielder. Maka hitting .370, a home run, 8 runs batted in. Also has stolen 14 bases to lead the team. Maka, the freshman out of Zionsville, Indiana. The first pitch from Reynolds is bunted foul, 1 strike. One strike to count to Anamaka. Reynolds with the wind in the 0-1 pitch. It's hit towards third. Suits has it, throws across into the runner, and everybody's safe. Coach Hubner out to question that call made by first base umpire Arnez Cantrell. The throw was wide into the runner. They're going to discuss the play. Bobby Gosnell's our home plate umpire in this game today. And it'll be a throwing error on Suits.
First baseman number 11.
2 on, nobody out on a pair of errors by the Tusculum infield. And Taylor DeAtter, the first baseman, comes to the plate. DeAtter, a senior out of Maple Ridge, British Columbia, hitting .369, 8 home runs, 36 runs batted in. The first pitch is called strike. DeAtter leads the team in homers with 8, RBIs 36, also has drawn 30 walks and stolen 12 bases. 1 strike the count to DeAtter. Change up in there for a strike, 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. The wide of the 0-2 pitch, low, 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count to DeAtter. One-two pitch. Changeup hit to left field. Newport giving chase. It'll go past her all the way to the fence. Around third is Patton. She'll score. Maka around third, and she will score standing. It's a 2-run double for Taylor DeAtter, and Lee has a 2-0 lead here in the first. Both of those runs will be unearned, but they're on the board. As DeAtter lined that one into the left center field gap. Give her 38 RBIs this season, just her 4th double of the year. And Javaria Smith, the right fielder, comes to the plate. Smith, freshman out of Bakewell, Tennessee, Soddy Daisy High School. And she lines this one into left field, and Newport will play it on the hop. No advance from DeAtter as Smith is on at first base. Smith, who was hitting .379, singles to left. Now runners at first and second. Still nobody out for the designated player, Sydney Lee.
Number 5, Sydney Lee.
Lee, another freshman out of Dadeville, Alabama. She's hitting .386 with 3 home runs, 26 runs batted in. Reynolds' first pitch is called strike. One strike the count to Lee, appropriately enough. And that is taken for a ball. Reynolds, 1-1 pitch, up the middle. That'll be a base hit in the center field. It skips up for Maddox. Her throw to the plate is up the line, and in to score is DeAtter. And runners will hang on at first and second. It's an RBI single for Sydney Lee, and it's quickly 3-0. Lee's 27th RBI of the season. That run will be earned. And now we'll have a discussion here in the circle as the Pioneers try and regroup, trailing 3-0. The next batter will be Riley Goodridge, the catcher. Goodridge, another freshman out of Oakdale, California, making her 11th start of the season. 276 hitter with 2 home runs and 6 runs in. As that conference was conducted by Tusculum assistant coach Eric Krentz, who rarely goes out to the circle, so he had a message to deliver. We'll see how this plays out here in this first inning. The first pitch is low in the dirt, 1 ball and no strikes. The 1-0 pitch. On the inside corner, 1 ball and 1 strike. Elsewhere in the South Atlantic Conference today, Carson Newman leads Coker 6-2, bottom of the 7th in Game 1 of their doubleheader. And Queens leads Anderson 5-0 in the 5th inning in Game 1 of their doubleheader. Bounced is short. Hodges goes to third, and they get the out there. 6-5 on the fielder's choice. Hodges goes to Suits for the out. Lee and Goodridge
Shortstop number 17,
on at second and first, respectively. One down here in the first. And Alexis Scalzo, the shortstop, comes to the plate. Scalzo, another freshman out of Winter Garden, Florida. 289 hitter, a home run, 16 runs batted in. Five freshmen in this starting lineup for Lee. One ball and no strikes. Reynolds, the 1-0 delivery. That's in there for a strike, 1-1. One ball, one strike, the count to Scalzo. One pitch. Lined into left field, a base hit. Newport plays it on the bounce, gets it into Suits, and the bases are loaded. Fourth hit of the inning for the Flames, and they have the bases loaded with one out.
second baseman number 18, Laney Harris.
And Laney Harris, the second baseman, will bat. Harris hitting .268, no home runs, 14 runs batted in. Harris, a sophomore out of Cleveland, hometown player. And that's called strike. One strike, the count to Harris. Outside, one ball, one strike. Tusculum has conference doubleheaders Thursday at UVA-Wise, Saturday at Newberry, so they will not want to burn either of their top two pitchers, Emily Sappington or Ireland Kavanaugh. Changeup is looped into shallow right. Smeltzer makes the catch. She throws to second, and she had the out at first. It would have been an easy double play, but she threw it into second, and everybody's safe for the second out of the inning.
Center fielder number 1, Shelby Cole.
Scalzo, the runner at first, was about halfway to second when Smeltzer caught that. She had an easy throw to set first for the double play, but she had the play in front of her and threw to second, and Goodridge got back safely. And Shelby Cole will finish the bat around here for Lee as she takes a strike. Cole, a sophomore out of Ringgold, Georgia. Making her 15th start of the season. 154 hitter, 4 for 26 with 3 RBIs. The 0-1 from Reynolds. Outside, a ball and a strike. Reynolds approaching 25 pitches here in this opening inning. Said the Pioneers want to stay away from Sappington and Kavanaugh. Between them and Reynolds, the only 3 pitchers on the staff who've pitched this year. That one's a ball, 2 balls and a strike. Two and one the count to Shelby Cole. Pioneers down 3-0 here in the first. 2-1 pitch. Low and in, 3-1. Nowhere to put her with the bases loaded. Three balls and one strike, the count to Cole. Bounce to Suits. Throw across is in time, and that'll do it. But for Lee in the first, they get 3 runs in the inning, 4 hits, 2 errors, and the bases are left loaded. We head to the bottom of the first. It's Lee 3, Tusculum coming to bat on the Pioneer Sports Network. Bottom of the first inning with Lee leading 3-0, and Maya Maddox will lead off for the Pioneers. Maddox hitting .394, no home runs, 12 runs batted in. And she takes a called strike from the starter, the lefty, Madison Barnett. Barnett making her 17th start of the season, 22nd appearance, 8-9 record, of .484 ERA. 98 in the third innings, 136 hits, 68 earned runs. She's walked 23, struck out 62, and opponents hitting .322 against Barnett, the sophomore out of Tullahoma, Tennessee. 1-1 strike, the count to Maddox. Maddox, the senior out of Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. If she gets on, she will be running. Pop foul, 1-2 strikes. Maddox, 33 stolen bases this season. Carson Newman's lead at Coker has been trimmed to 6-5 in the bottom of the seventh. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Maddox down, swinging for the first out.
Left fielder number 6, Callan Newport.
And Callan Newport will come to the plate. Newport hitting .319, no home runs, 10 runs batted in. Newport, the junior out of Seymour, Tennessee. Wind up at the first pitch. Is launched to left field. Hit pretty well to the wall, and making the catch in front of the fence for the second out is the left fielder, Maka. Newport gave that one a ride, but Maka makes the catch in deep left field for the second out.
First baseman number 30, Haley Lazo.
It's not technically a wall, it's a fence, but either way is 2 outs. And Haley Lazo will come to the plate. Lazo hitting .295, a home run, 18 runs batted in. Lazo homered, hit a grand slam against Queens on Friday. Her first home run of the season. She fouls that one away for 1 strike. One strike to count to Lazo. 1-1 strike. Queens still leads Anderson 5-0 in the 5th. Game 1 of their doubleheader. 1-1 pitch. Launched to right field. And toward the line, making the catch with the snow cone is Smith for this third out of the inning. 1-2-3, bottom of the first for the Pioneers. We go to the top of the second. Lee 3, Tusculum 0 on the Pioneer Sports Network. Top of the second inning coming up here with Lee leading by a score of 3-0. Carson Newman has beaten Coker 6-5 in game 1 of that doubleheader. Carson Newman now 10-9 in the conference, moving into sole possession of 6th place. It's a big jumble of spots 6 through 10, and only 3 of those teams will get in. And Tusculum finishing the season with doubleheaders against 2 of those teams, UVA Wise and Newberry. Top of the second inning, and it is Brianna Patton leading off. She was safe on a fielding error her first time up and scored one of those 3 runs. Patton, Maka, and Deatter just as we started the first inning, facing Keelan Reynolds. 1-0 pitch. Line over to third base and into left field for a base hit. Suits couldn't quite get high enough to make that catch, and Newport fields it in left field. And Patton has the 5th hit of the game for the Flames. She's the leadoff base runner here in the second for the left fielder, Anna Maka. Maka was safe on an error, a throwing error, her first time up, and also scored. They both scored on the double by Deatter. First pitch is inside for a ball, 1-0. Reynolds with the line and the pitch. Hit to second. Hughes has it. She'll toss to Lazo for the out. Patton moves on to second. One down here in the second.
First baseman number 11, Taylor Deatter.
And Taylor Deatter will come to the plate. Deatter, a 2-run double her first time up, and then she scored on the single by Lee. Reynolds' first pitch is on the outside corner, strike one. Deatter now with 38 RBIs, a byproduct of her average with runners in scoring position this season. She's hitting .469 with runners in scoring position. It's a good way to rack up RBIs. And that one's outside for a ball, 1-1. Smith, the right fielder, waits on deck. Next pitch from Reynolds is off the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike. Two and 1 the count to Taylor Deatter. Reynolds' pitch. Low and away, 3-1. 3 balls and 1 strike the count to Deatter. Reynolds with 3-1. Inside and low, ball 4. Deatter walks for the 31st time this season, and runners at first and second with 1 out for the right fielder, Javaria Smith. Smith singled her first time up.
Right fielder number 23, Javaria Smith.
On a line drive to left field that fell in front of Newport. Lee as a team has a good batting eye. They average 3.5 walks a game. They've walked 141 times in 40 games. By comparison, Tusculum has walked 85 times in 41 games. First pitch to Smith. Inside corner, strike one. Reynolds with the 0-1. Outside, a ball and a strike. One ball, one strike, the count to Javaria Smith. Got in on her, and she fouls it away, 1-2. One strike, the count to Smeltzer. Barnett with the pitch, bounced to third. Nice play by Patton to her left. Her throw across is in time for the second out. Lee flashing the glove here early. 2 outs here in the second very quickly. And Anna Alloway, the designated player, will come to the plate. Alloway hitting .356, 4 home runs, 30 runs batted in. Leads the team in home runs with 4, RBIs with 30. Alloway, along with Maddox, the only Pioneers who have started all 41 games, now 42. The first pitch is taken for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Alloway, the grad student out of Louisville, Tennessee. The 1-0 pitch. Upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. Two 2-0 the count to Alloway. Barnett with the 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. 2 balls and 1 strike, the count to Alloway. In. 2-2 the count to Alloway. Two outs here, bottom of the second inning. Barnett winds 2-2. Outside 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Alloway with 2 outs here in the second. Barnett winds and the 3-2. Fouled away. Queens now leads Anderson 6-0. They're in the top of the 6th inning. Jordan Dunn of Queens has allowed just 5 hits through 5 innings. 3-2 pitch. Low and inside, ball 4. Alloway draws a walk.
Second baseman number 11, Hannah Hughes.
She's the first base runner of the game as Hannah Hughes will come to the plate. Hughes, a senior out of Baxter, Tennessee. Hitting .260, 2 home runs, 12 runs batted in. Interestingly, Hughes and Hodges, the Pioneer double play combination, both exactly 25 for 96 this season. And she will be safe at first base, Will Hughes, on the error. As Scalzo just fumbled it, and Hughes is safe at first base. I was just saying that Hannah Hughes and Caitlin Hodges, the starting middle infield for the Pioneers, both exactly 25 for 96 at the plate this year. Hodges has a few more walks, a couple more runs scored. And Alyssa Suits comes to the plate. Suits hitting .213, a home run, 6 runs batted in for the freshman out of Jonesboro, Tennessee. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Suits. Now the catcher Goodridge will go out to talk to Barnett. Suits making her 15th start of the season. She moved into the starting lineup at the beginning of April following the retirement of starting third baseman Kylie Longmire. Longmire, who started her career at Lee, unable to continue her career, so Suits is now the starting third baseman in Tusculum. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. One ball, 1 strike, the count to Alyssa Suits. Barnett with the windup, the 1-1 pitch. Line towards right, it's in for a base hit. Smith fields it around third, comes Alloway, and she will score on the slide. Over to third base goes Hughes. It's an RBI single for Alyssa Suits, and Tusculum's on the board. It's 3-1. It's an unearned run, but it's on the board. And Tusculum cuts the deficit to 2. Suits with her 7th RBI of the season. Caitlin Hodges will bat. Hodges hitting .260, no home runs, 16 runs batted in. for the senior out of Blairsville, Georgia, by way of Young Harris. First pitch to her is on the it's inside, 1 ball and no strikes. Barnett, the windup and the pitch. Line to left center field. It's going to split the gap and go all the way to the fence. 1 run is in. Second run will score as well, and we are tied at 3 on a 2-run double by Caitlin Hodges, as Hughes and Suits both score. And the 2-out rally by the Pioneers started by a walk, abetted by an error, and 3 runs on the board. Hodges with her 6th double of the season, 18 runs batted in now for Hodges, and we're tied at 3. And Maya Maddox will come to the plate. Maddox struck out her first time up. So Barnett retired the first 5 batters, and then a walk, an error, a single, and a double, and we're tied at 3. First pitch from Barnett to Maddox is taken for a ball. And strike. Three balls and a strike, the count to Maddox. Callan Newport waits on deck. Barnett's 3-1. Bunted down the first baseline. It's going to stay on the chalk and it'll be a base hit. That ball started off in foul territory, rolled onto the chalk and stayed there. Perfectly placed bunt single for Maddox. Hodges goes to third. Now runners at the corners with 2 outs. For Callan Newport. Newport flying out to left her first time up. Maddox, who has great speed at first base. 33 stolen bases in 35 attempts. She leads the South Atlantic Conference in stolen bases. There she goes. Pitches a strike. The throw is in time. They got her at second base. Applying the tag was the shortstop Scalzo. 2-6. Caught stealing. The run does not count. And the inning is over. For Tusculum in the second, they get 3 runs, 2 hits, Bush. The freshman out of Columbia, South Carolina, making her first pitching appearance of the season for the Pioneers. Bush has been used as a pinch runner primarily. She has scored 8 runs this season. 0 for 6 at the plate, stolen 6 bases, has been used as a utility player. But pitching now.
Number 5, Sydney Lee.
She pitched in high school and was a region pitcher of the year. So she has lots of experience in the circle, but first time at the college level. The first pitch is low and away, a ball and no strikes. Sydney Lee will be the first batter. Lee singled in a run her first time up. 3 runs, 5 hits, an error for Lee. 3 runs, 3 hits, 2 errors for Tusculum. Bush with the windup and the 1-0 pitch. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Final line on Reynolds. 2 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 1 was earned. 1 walk, no strikeouts. 40 pitches, 23 strikes. 2-0 the count to Lee. Low, 3 balls and no strikes. Emily Sappington is warming up in the Tusculum bullpen. Sappington, the Tusculum ace. We may see her yet. 3-0 the count. Pitch. Outside, ball 4. 4-pitch walk to Lee. And she's the leadoff base runner for Riley Goodridge, the catcher.
Number 10, Riley Goodridge.
Goodridge reached on a fielder's choice her first time up, and Tusculum coach Julie Hubner making her way to the circle. As she will get set with Bush and Freischmidt, her catcher. Tusculum will be at UVA Wise Thursday. It'll be a 1 o'clock start on the Cavalier Sports Network. And then 1 o'clock Saturday at Newberry on the Wolves Sports Network. And that'll do it for the regular season. The Southland Conference Tournament, April 29th and 30th at Lincoln Memorial University. So here's Goodridge in a bunting situation. And she takes a strike instead. Lee, as a team, has sacrificed 18 times this season. Compare that to Tusculum, who has sacrificed 26 times. So maybe not as automatic a bunting situation as you might think. Outside, a ball and a strike. 1-1 the count to Goodridge. Bush with the windup and the pitch. Up and away, 2 balls and 1 strike. Wind up the 2-1 pitch. Low and away. Freischmidt's snap throw is late. 3 balls and 1 strike. Three and 1 the count to Goodridge. The pitch. Called strike on the outside corner, 3-2. Three balls and 2 strikes to Goodridge. Low, ball 4. Back-to-back walks by Bush. 2 on, nobody out for Alexis Scalzo, the shortstop. Scalzo singled her first time up.
Number 17, Alyssa Scalzo.
Scalzo has sacrificed 4 times this season. She holds the bat out. And takes a ball. So she showed the bat, pulled it back, flashed it again, and then took a ball. We saw Hannah Hughes against Queens on Friday in a bunting situation in extra innings. Pull the bat back and Baltimore chop one into the outfield for a double. 1-0 pitch. 2-0. Bush trying to find the zone. She's missing outside on these pitches as Sappington continues to throw. The 2-0 pitch. High, 3-0. When you're around the plate, it's hard sometimes to get those close ones. 3-0 the count to Scalzo. And that's in there for a strike, 3-1. Lainey Harris, the second baseman, on deck. Three and 1 the count to Scalzo. The pitch. Taken low, ball 4. And the bases are loaded on walks. Bases loaded on walks, and Lainey Harris will come to the plate, and here comes Coach Julie Hubner And I think we're going to get a pitching change. As Reynolds will come back in. So 3 walks by Bush, and the bases are loaded, and now back we go to Reynolds. The bases are loaded, nobody out. And Laney Harris will be the batter. Queens just about to finish off Anderson in game 1 of that doubleheader. It's 6-0 Queens. 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Game's at Queens, so 1 more out and it's over. And it's over. Jordan Dunn with a shutout of Anderson today. Very impressive victory. We saw Queens here on Friday. They're a solid team. And Jordan Dunn's a solid pitcher, and she just threw a 5-hit shutout against Anderson. So Anderson drops to 18-3 in the conference, and Queens
Second baseman, number 18, Laney Harris.
Now 15-8. Queens will now finish no worse than 5th in the conference. So here's Harris with the bases loaded. Reynolds' first pitch is an off-speed pitch. It's high, a ball and no strikes. So Tusculum no longer has to worry about Queens head-to-head. They're too far gone ahead in the standings now, but still Carson Newman playing today against. This one's lined to right field. It'll be a base hit. Smeltzer fields it. 1 run is in, and everybody else moves up a base. It's an RBI single for Laney Harris, and Lee regains the lead at 4-3. That run will go against Bush's record. Harris knocking in her 15th run of the season. Harris was 3 for 5 with the bases loaded prior to that at bat. And now Shelby Cole comes to the plate. Cole grounded to third her first time up. First pitch from Reynolds is inside for a ball. Cole hitless with the bases loaded this season. Reynolds with the 1-0. Inside corner called strike. One and 1 the count to Cole. The pitch. Off speed, fouled away. Right off our heads. We haven't gotten too many of those off the roof this season. There's short little pop-up foul over the backstop and landed right on the roof of the press box. 1-2 the count. The pitch. Bounced up there, blocked by Freischmidt, 2-2. Ireland Cavanaugh also down in the bullpen now as Tusculum looking for outs. Bounced up there. Freischmidt doesn't see it, but it's right in front of her. 3-2 the count to Cole. Nobody out here, third inning. Reynolds with the windup 3-2 pitch. Outside and high, ball 4, another run. For the Flames, they lead at 5-3. Fourth walk of the inning by Tusculum pitching. For Cole, her 4th RBI of the season. Bases still loaded for Brianna Patton, the top of the order, the third baseman. Patton reached on an error and singled and scored a run. Low and in, ball 1. Reynolds coming up on her 50th pitch across her 2 stints in this game. 1-0. Outside corner, strike one. 1-1 the count to Brianna Patton. One. Called strike in the inside corner, 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count to Patton. Scalzo is at third, Harris at second, Cole at first. Reynolds with the windup, the 1-2 pitch. Low and in, 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes the count to Patton. That wind continues to whip out to right field. 2-2 pitch. Bouncer right back to Reynolds. Throw home, bounces up there. Freischmidt doesn't handle it, and everybody's safe. That'll be a throwing error by Reynolds. Everybody's safe. Scalzo's safe on the error. Fielder's choice for Patton. Base is still loaded, 6-3, and Maka will come to the plate. Bounced off of Maka, 1 strike. So no RBI for Patton on that play. It was as the out would have been recorded at the plate with a good throw. And the inning continues. The 0-1 pitch. Bounced towards Hughes, and it hit the runner. It did. Okay, so it hits the runner. Maka's safe at first base on a single. Patton's out 4 unassisted, and the other runners return. So Harris is going to return to third base. And Cole returns to second. So Maka gets a single. Patton's out 4 unassisted for the first out. So there's now 1 out in the inning. Yeah, so once the ball hits the runner, the play's dead. The batter gets credit for a single, and Patton is out on the play. So here's DeAtter now batting, still bases loaded, with 1 out now in the inning. DeAtter has doubled in 2 runs and walked. First pitch is a called strike. One strike the count to DeAtter. Harris still the runner at third. Cole at second. Maka now on at first. The 0-1 pitch. Low, 1 ball, 1 strike. One and 1 the count to DeAtter. The pitch. Outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Two and 1 the count. And that one is inside corner, strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 the count to DeAtter. Reynolds pitch. Bounce to third, suits, home for 1, and that's all they'll get. Fielder's choice out at the plate, 5-2 for the second out. And everybody else moves up 1 base. Now 2 outs in the inning, and Javarius Smith, the right fielder, will bat. Smith has singled and reached on a fielder's choice double play. And that pitch is low and in, 1 ball and no strikes. Three runs in here in the third. Lee holding a 6-3 lead. Reynolds' pitch. Called strike, 1-1. The line for now closed on Bush. She faced 3 batters, walked 3, gave up 3 runs, 2 earned, 15 pitches, 3 strikes, 12 balls. 1-1 the count to Javarius Smith. Bounce to first, Lazo knocks it down and tags the bag for the 3rd out. So, that'll do it for this 3rd inning. 3 runs, 2 hits, an error, and 3 left on base. Lee has left 7 through 3 innings. But Lee has the lead, 6-3, heading to the bottom of the 3rd on the Pioneer Sports Network. Bottom of the 3rd inning, Tusculum trailing 6-3, and Callan Newport will lead off for the Pioneers. Newport flying out to left her first time up. Lee, 6 runs, 7 hits, an error. They've left 7 so far. Tusculum, 3 runs, 3 hits, 3 errors, and they've left 1. Newport, Lazo, and Freischmidt do against Madison Barnett. First pitch, taken low for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Newport. Right-hander Caroline Pattison is getting loose in the bullpen for Lee as it's swung on and missed by Newport. 1 ball and 1 strike. Pattison has made 4 relief appearances this season. One pitch is high, 2 balls and 1 strike. Two balls and 1 strike the count to Newport, leading off the bottom half of this 3rd inning. Barnett's pitch is swung on and missed, strike 2. 2-2 the count to Newport. Barnett with the line. The 2-2 pitch is low and outside. 3-2. Three balls and 2 strikes to count to Newport. Barnett has walked just 1, but she came in to score in that 2nd inning, and that was Alloway. 3-2 pitch. Pop foul out of play. Newberry has beaten Claflin 13-5 in Game 1 of their doubleheader at Newberry in 5 innings. It was 12-1 after 2. The 3-2 pitch is hit to short. Scalzo throw across in time for the out. 1 down the 3rd. And Haley Lazo will come to the plate. Lazo, a fly to right, her only plate appearance. Barnett ready to go against Lazo here in the last half of the third. First pitch. Popped up to right field. Another chance for Smith. She'll battle the wind and the sun and make the catch for the second out. Lazo out on a pair of flies to right. 2 down in the third. And Chloe Freischmidt will come to the plate. Freischmidt grounded to short in her only plate appearance. Freischmidt, the senior out of Naples, Florida, entered the game today, hitting at .300 on the dot, 2 home runs and 26 runs batted in. First pitch from Barnett is fouled at the screen, 1 strike. One strike the count to Freischmidt. Line up the 0-1 pitch. High. 1 ball, 1 strike. Barnett has retired the first 2 batters in each of the first 3 innings. Low, 2 balls and a strike. Two and 1 the count to Freischmidt. Foul back to the screens, 2 and 2. Two and 2 the count to Freischmidt. Outside, 3 and 2. Three and 2 the count to Freischmidt with 2 outs and nobody on here in the third inning. If she reaches, Smeltzer will bat. 3-2 pitch. Pop foul out of play. Three balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Second strikeout for Barnett, who has a 1-2-3 third. We go to the 4th. Lee leads Tusculum 6-3 on the Pioneer Sports Network. We are at the top of the 4th inning. Lee leading Tusculum by a score of 6-3. Glad you could join us on the Pioneer Sports Network this afternoon. Jim Miller with you. Our producer today is Dom Donnelly. Direct all cards and letters to him. First pitch is taken for a ball by Sydney Lee. Lee has reached twice. She's knocked in a run with a single in the first and walked and scored in the third. Facing Keelan Reynolds, who started the game, came out after 2, and then came back in the third. 1 ball, 1 strike the count to Lee. The windup in the 1-1. Off speed pitch is low, 2-1. Two balls and 1 strike to count. The pitch is hit to third. Suits on the short hop, throw across in time for the out. One down in the 4th.
Pitcher number 10, Riley Goodridge.
And Riley Goodridge, the catcher, will come to the plate. Goodridge has hit into a fielder's choice and walked and has scored a run. Reynolds with the windup and the pitch. High, 1 ball and no strikes. One ball and no strikes to count. Reynolds' pitch is outside, 1-1. What was the ball? It was outside. 2 balls and no strikes. And that's a called strike, 2-1. Two balls and 1 strike to count to Goodridge. Low, 3-1. Three balls and 1 strike to count to Goodridge. Reynolds' pitch. Outside corner, strike 2. Three and 2 the count to Goodridge. Reynolds with the payoff. Low, ball 4. Goodridge walks for the second time.
Shortstop number 17, Alexis Calzor.
Third walk issued by Reynolds. 6 walks now for Lee's batters. And Alexis Scalzo comes to the plate. Scalzo has singled and scored a run. First pitch is a called strike. One strike to count to Scalzo. Reynolds' pitch. Line to left field. Newport giving chase. It gets past her and rolls to the fence. Backed up by the new center fielder, Madison McGinnis. And they will hold the runner at third base as Goodridge holds up at third. Scalzo is on at second with a double. For Scalzo, her third two-base hit of the season. Madison McGinnis checked into the game in center field to start this 4th inning, replacing Maya Maddox. Second and third with 1 out, and Lainey Harris will come to the plate. Harris has fly to right and singled in a run. And the first pitch from Reynolds is inside, and it hit her. If she wasn't wearing that jacket, it wouldn't have hit her. Must have just vinyl. The fabric, that's not a vinyl. That's not those vinyl jackets like you used to, like the umpires wear.
Shelby Cole.
Do they still wear vinyl jackets? Anyway, bases are loaded. 1 down for Shelby Cole, who is grounded out and walked with the bases loaded to force in a run. That pitch is low for a ball, 1-0. 1-0 pitch. Called strike, 1-1. One ball, one strike, the count to Cole. The pitch, bounce foul, 1-2. One ball and two strikes, the count. 1-2 pitch. Low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 80th pitch coming up here from Reynolds with 1 out in the 4th. No bullpen activity at the moment for Tusculum. 2-2 the count to Cole. Pitch. Hit foul past third. Suits was on the dive, but that ball was in foul territory. Still 2-2. Balls and 2 strikes to count. Reynolds with the delivery. Off speed pitch, nubbed foul up first. Two balls and 2 strikes to count. Pitch is lined into center. Guinness giving chase. She won't get there. And it will go all the way to the fence. 1 runs in, 2 runs in, 3 runs in. And it is a triple for Shelby Cole. Just her 5th hit of the season, her first extra base hit. She came into today's game with 3 RBIs for the season. She has 4 RBIs already in this game. It's 9-3.
Third baseman number 4, Brianna Patton.
So things have gone from worse to even worse for the Pioneers. And Patton will bat for the 4th time in 4 innings. Reynolds pitch. High, 1 ball and no strikes. So the Pioneers will have work to do on offense, trailing 9-3 here in this 4th inning. Reynolds pitch, bounced foul past first. One ball and 1 strike the count to Patton. Reynolds is taken for a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. Two and 1 the count to Patton. Line to first past Lazo in right field for a base hit. In to score is Cole. And Patton has an RBI single, her 2nd hit of the game. And it is 10-3.
The left fielder number 3, Anamaka.
Time asked for by Tusculum coach Julie Hubner, and she will make her way into the circle. So the discussion taking place in the circle. There's no activity in the Tusculum bullpen at the moment. Just this is one of them days. This Pioneer staff. 10 runs on 10 hits for Lee through 3 1/3 innings. So the conversation is continuing. And Anna Maka will be the next batter. Maka has reached on an error, grounded out, and singled. And she has scored a run. 10-3 Lee here in the 4th. Patton the runner at first base. First pitch. Taken for a strike. One strike the count to Anamaka. Hit to third, Suits. We'll have to hurry. And she gets the out at first. 2 outs as Patton takes second. And Taylor Deatter, the first baseman, comes to the plate.
Number 11, Taylor Deatter.
Deatter has doubled in 2 runs, walked, and reached on a fielder's choice. Reynolds with the first pitch. Off-speed pitch taken for a ball. One ball and no strikes, the pitch. Called strike in the outside corner. One and one the count to Deatter. Off the plate, 2 balls and 1 strike. Line up the 2-1 pitch. Hit to short, past Hodges into left field for a base hit. Around third into scores Patton. And on the throw in, taking second base, is Deatter. So base hit for Deatter and RBI. Patton scores, Deatter to second on the throw. And it's 11-3.
Right fielder number 23, Javaria Smith.
And Javaria Smith will come to the plate as Lee has batted around for the 3rd time in this game. First, third, and fourth. First pitch from Reynolds. To second for Hughes. Big hop, throw to first in time. And the inning is over. 4 runs, 3 hits, no errors, and 1 left. We're halfway home or further in game number 1. It's Lee 11, Tusculum 3 on the Pioneer Sports Network. Bottom of the 4th inning, Tusculum with some work to do, trailing 11-3. It'll be Smeltzer, Alloway, and Hughes due up against Madison Barnett, who outside of a hiccup in the 2nd inning has been solid so far. Smeltzer grounded to third her first time up. 0-1 pitch, back up the middle into center field for a base hit. Smeltzer hit that one on the nose, right past her opposite number 20. And Smeltzer's the leadoff base runner here in the fourth. Fourth hit of the game for the Pioneers. And that'll bring Anna Alloway to the plate. Alloway walked and scored in the second inning. First pitch is looped into right field, and it'll drop in. Tracked down by the second baseman Harris, and everybody's going to be safe on a looping single by Anna Alloway. And Tusculum gets their first 2 on base here in the fourth inning. Some bullpen activity for Lee as Elena Watson, the right-hander, is getting loose. And a discussion taking place inside the circle. And Hannah Hughes will bat. Hughes reached on an error and later scored in that second inning. So the conversation continues.
Second baseman, number 11, Hannah Hughes.
And here we go. Barnett with the windup and the first pitch. Line foul down the right side. Lee has out-hit Tusculum 11-5. The 0-1 pitch coming from Barnett. Check swing strike. Nothing in 2 the count, the pitch. Swing and a miss. Third strikeout for Barnett, 1 down here in the fourth. And Alyssa Suits will come to the plate. Suits an RBI single her first time up. Suits batting with runners at first and second. Called strike. The 0-1 pitch from Barnett is high, a ball and strike. One and 1 the count to Alyssa Suits. The pitch popped up in the infield behind the plate and dropped by the catcher. That'll be a foul ball. That'll be an error on the catcher, allowing the at-bat to continue. As Goodridge just dropped the ball. It is a strike, 1 ball and 2 strikes. One-two pitch. Foul back to the screen. One and 2 the count to Alyssa Suits. Fouled at the plate. And it looked like it came up and caught her in the face mask. So Suits taking a moment to gather herself as assistant athletic trainer McKinley Bryant and coach Julie Hubner out there to make sure Suits is fine, and she is as she gets back into the box. Down to the count of ball and 2 strikes. One, two. Hit towards short, backhanded, knocked down, flipped to third. Everybody's safe. That'll be an infield single for Suits to load the bases. As Scalzo only had her only shot was to field that and get the flip to third, and wasn't happening. As Suits gets an infield single, the bases are loaded with 1 out for Caitlin Hodges. Hodges had a 2-run double her first time up. First pitch. Called strike. Elsewhere, Carson Newman leads Coker 3-1 in the second inning in Game 2 of their doubleheader. The 0-1 pitch. High, a ball and a strike. One ball and 1 strike, the count to Hodges. Inside, 2-1. Two and 1 the count. Line down the right field line. It is a foul ball. Very close, but foul. 2-2 the count to Hodges. Barnett with the windup, the 2-2. Pop up into shallow left field. It's going to drop in for a base hit. 1 run scores, and everybody else moves up a base. It's an RBI single for Hodges. And the Pioneers trail 11-4. Hodges' 3rd RBI of the game.
Center fielder number 3, Madison McGinnis.
And Madison McGinnis, the center fielder, will come to the plate. McGinnis batting for the first time. She is 0 for 6 this season. McGinnis, the sophomore out of Knoxville. 1 ball and no strikes. 11-4 here in the 4th. And time is called. And we'll have a discussion here in the circle. As Pioneers try and mount a rally for the second time this afternoon. They trailed 3-0 and tied it at 3 in the second. Then Lee with 3 in the third, 5 in the fourth, as you can see on the scoreboard and out behind the left field fence. That's been the story so far. So the Pioneers with the bases loaded in this 4th inning. Anderson and Queens have Game 2 of their doubleheader coming up. Queens won the opener. Let's see how Game 2 has fared so far. They should be started. 1-0 the count to McGinnis. Barnett's pitch is outside, 2 balls and no strikes. They have not started Game 2 yet. Barnett coming up on 70 pitches. Low, 3 balls and no strikes. 3-0 the count to McGinnis, who has not knocked in any runs this season. 3-0 pitch. High, ball 4. McGinnis draws a walk with the bases loaded. Alloway scores. And it's 11-5.
Left fielder number 6, Callan Newport.
And Callan Newport will bat. Newport's 0 for 2. She's flying to left and grounded to short. First pitch to Newport is called strike. Newport hitless this season with the bases loaded. Tusculum with 4 hits in the inning, followed by a walk. That pitch was bearing in on her, and Newport fouls it away. 0-2. Wind up by Barnett. And time is called first. As Newport steps out of the box. Wind still whipping out to right field. The 0-2 pitch. Hit to left field, tailing back towards center, and making the catch on the run is Maka. In to score is Suits. The ball gets away, and a second run is going to score, and going to third and diving in safely is McGinnis. All right, we got softball today. Suits scores on the sacrifice fly. Hodges scores on the throwing error by the left fielder Maka. And McGinnis goes all the way to third on the error. Newport's out a sac fly RBI for her. 2 outs in the inning. Here's Haley Lazo, who's flying to right twice. All of a sudden, we've got ourselves an 11-7 game as Lazo goes after the first pitch and fouls that one away. So Newport gets a sac fly RBI, her 11th RBI of the season. It scores Suits. Hodges scores on the throwing error by the left fielder Maka. And McGinnis goes all the way to third on the throw. The 0-1 pitch is lined to left field and caught by the left fielder Maka for the third out. Lazo's 0 for 3. The Pioneers back in this one. They score 4 runs in the inning, 4 hits, 2 errors, and 1 left. We're through 4. It's Lee 11, Tusculum 7 on the Pioneer Sports Network. We head to the 5th inning in game 1 of this doubleheader. It has been a wild one so far. The other day, Queens and Tusculum played 7 scoreless innings in about an hour and 20 minutes. Well, we're past an hour and a half. We're going to the 5th, and there have been 18 runs and 18 hits and 6 errors in this game so far. Keelan Reynolds still out there for the Pioneers. The first pitch to Lee is hit to short, and making the play is Hodges for the out. Sidney Lee retired for the first out in the 5th inning. Worth noting that Lee has led off each of the last 3 innings. Last inning, she grounded out to start the inning, and Lee went on to score 5 runs. So the way this is going, who knows? Goodridge is at the plate. She's reached on a fielder's choice, walked twice, scored twice. Takes that one for a ball. Reynolds will be coming up on 100 pitches here in a few. 95 before this at bat. The 1-0 pitch. Beaten foul at the plate, 1-1. One ball, one strike, the count to Goodridge. One. Hit to third, suits, throw across in time for the out. 2 up and 2 down here in the 5th inning.
Shortstop number 17, Alexis Scalzo.
And Alexis Scalzo will come to the plate. Scalzo has singled, walked, and doubled as she has scored 2 runs. All 9 starters for Lee, with the exception of Smith, have scored a run. First pitch from Reynolds. Low for a ball, 1-0. Reynolds toes the rubber for the 100th time. And the pitch. Called strike on the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1 the count to Scalzo. Reynolds, the 1-1. Called strike, 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes to count to Scalzo. One-two delivery is high, 2-2. Reynolds has not struck out a batter, and she has walked 3. 2-2 the count to Alexis Scalzo. The pitch. Line towards second. Hughes flips on to first for the out, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Keelan Reynolds. 3 ground balls around the infield. Middle of the 5th, it is Lee 11, Tusculum 7 on the Pioneer Sports Network. Bottom of the 5th inning, Tusculum trailing 11-7. Freischmidt, Smeltzer, and Alloway
Pitcher
due up
number 14, Chloe Freshman.
against Madison Barnett, who's only thrown 73 pitches through 4 innings. She's allowed 7 hits and 7 runs, but only 2 of those runs have been earned, with 2 walks and 3 strikeouts. And first pitch to Freischmidt is fouled away. 11 runs allowed by the Pioneers, 1 shy of the season high for runs allowed, which was 12 against Anderson on March the 29th. It allowed 11 to Augusta back on February the 6th. Next pitch is low for a ball, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Freischmidt. She'll be followed by Smeltzer and Alloway here in the 5th. Beaten foul at the plate, 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes to count to Chloe Freischmidt, hitting .295. This one's golfed to left center field. It's hit pretty well, but the wind is going to knock it down, and Cole will make the catch in center field. On a different day, that might have been gone, but the wind got it for the first out.
Number 20, Claire Smeltzer.
Freischmidt now 0 for 3 as Claire Smeltzer will come to the plate. Smeltzer has grounded out and singled, and she scored a run during that 4-run 4th inning. Barnett's first pitch is outside for a ball, 1-0. Want to know the count. Pitch. High and away, 2 balls and no strikes. Barnett ready to deliver her 80th pitch of the game. It is fouled away, 2-1. Two and 1 the count to Smeltzer, the pitch. Low and in, 3-1. Three balls and 1 strike the count to Claire Smeltzer. Got it on her hands, fouled, and it'll drop it out of into foul territory. As Patton gave chase but couldn't get there. Three and 2 the count. The pitch. Inside corner, called strike 3. 4th strikeout for Barnett, 2 out here in the 5th.
The DP, 0-0, Anna Alloway.
And Anna Alloway will bat. Alloway has walked and singled and scored twice. First pitch coming from Alloway is lined towards short. On the run, Scalzo gets the out. And a little bit of sanity has returned to this ballgame as both teams go in order in the 5th. We go to the 6th. It's Lee 11, Tusculum 7 on the Pioneer Sports Network. We head to the top of the 6th inning. Lee still leads this one 11-7. They'll have the 8, 9, and 1 batters due up here in the 6th.
Baseman number 18,
Harris,
Laney
Cole, and Patton to face Keelan Reynolds. Reynolds, 5 innings, 11 hits, and 8 runs. First pitch is a called strike in the outside corner. One strike to Harris, who has fly to right, singled in a run, and been hit by a pitch, and scored a run. Low, 1 ball, 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike the count to Harris. Outside, 2-1. Two and 1 the count, the pitch. Bouncer to short, Hodges scoops, throws in time for the out. 5 in a row retired by Reynolds, all on ground balls. One out in the 6th, and Shelby Cole, the center fielder. Cole has had quite a day. She grounded out her first time up, then walked with the bases loaded to knock in a run. Her last time up, a 3-run triple to left center field. She's knocked in 4, now up to 179 average for the season. Called strike. One strike the count to Cole. Strike 2. Nice pitch there from Reynolds. Nothing in 2 the count to Cole. The pitch. Off the plate, 1-2. Reynolds up to her 110th pitch of the afternoon. It's the 1-2 delivery. Bounced up there, 2-2. And this one's lined foul. Still 2-2. Two and two the count remains to Shelby Cole. 2-2 pitch coming from Reynolds. High, 3-2. Three and two the count to Cole. Reynolds pitch. Hit foul again. Cole working this count here. It's full count. 8th pitch coming up. From Reynolds to Cole. And it's outside, ball 4. Cole walks for the second time. And she is a 1-out base runner for Brianna Patton.
Third baseman number 4, Brianna Patton.
Patton has reached on an error, singled, reached on a fielder's choice, and singled. Scored 2 runs, knocked in a run. This one's up the middle into center field for a base hit. McGinnis will return it to the infield. Third hit of the day for Patton. And runners are at first and second with one out. 12th hit of the game for Lee.
Left fielder number 3, Anamaka.
And Anamaka will come to the plate. Maka has reached on an error, grounded out, singled and grounded out. 1 for 4. First pitch from Reynolds. Up the middle, Hughes backhands it and knocks it down. That's all that she can do. That'll be an infield single for Maka to load the bases. As Hughes had to go hard to her right, she was able to get a glove on it to knock it down, but couldn't scoop it. So an infield single has loaded the bases for Deatter, who is 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. First pitch is up and away for a ball. Deatter had a 2-run double in the first, walked in the second, reached on a fielder's choice in the third, and a single homer run in the fourth. Now batting .377. Reynolds pitch. Inside corner for a strike, 1-1. One and 1 the count, the pitch. 2 balls and 1 strike. Two and 1 the count, the pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. Two balls and 2 strikes. The pitch outside, 3-2. Three-two pitch. Ball 4. That'll force in a run as Cole scores. Everybody else moves up a base. Third RBI, fourth RBI of the game for Deatter. It's up to 40 RBIs this season. And Javaria Smith hoping to get in on the fun here. She's 1 for 4. She's singled into a fielder's choice and grounded out twice. Batting with the bases loaded. And taking a called strike. One strike to count to Smith. Patton at third, Maka at second, Deatter at first. One out here in the sixth, 12-7 Lee. Change up in there for a strike. 0-2. The 0-2 pitch is low and away, 1-2. One and two the count to Smith. Reynolds pitch. Inside, 2-2. Two the count to Smith. Reynolds pitch is off the plate 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Three and two, with 1 out here in the 6th. Reynolds pitch. Called strike 3. Smith down looking. First strikeout of the game for Tusculum pitching. There's 2 outs here in the 6th. And Sidney Lee will come to the plate. Lee has singled in a run, walked and scored, and grounded out twice. First pitch is a called strike. Reynolds up to 130 pitches. This is the 10th at bat of the game by Lee with the bases loaded. And that's taken low for a ball. Actually, it doesn't even include the bases loaded walks. This is the 11th batter that's batted in this game with the bases loaded for Lee. They're 3 for 9 with a walk. Two balls and 1 strike the count to Lee. Fouled away, right side. Smeltzer will give it chase, but it'll be out of play. Two balls, 2 strikes to count to Lee. Reynolds pitch. Hit towards short. Hodges, nice play. Flipped to Hughes for the out. Great play there by the middle infield. Hodges with the catch and scoop to Hughes for the 3rd out of the inning. Lee gets a run on 2 hits, and they leave the bases loaded. They've left 11. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. And it is Lee 12, Tusculum 7 on the Pioneer Sports Network. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Tusculum trailing Lee 12-7 here in Game 1 of this doubleheader. It'll be Hughes, Suits, and Hodges to face Madison Barnett, who's thrown just 84 pitches through 5 innings. She's retired 5 in a row. Tusculum has had their big innings in the even-numbered innings, 3 in the 2nd, 4 in the 4th. And this one's lined into right field, drops in front of Smith for a base hit. So, the every other inning success off to a good start here. And Alyssa Suits comes to the plate. Suits has singled twice, knocked in a run, scored 2. Tusculum now with 8 hits in the game. First pitch from Barnett is a called strike. Barnett with the 0-1. High, ball and strike. One and one the count. Pitch popped up in the infield and unable to be played again that time by Goodridge. And that'll be another error on the catch, both times with Suits at the plate. Fourth error of the game for Lee. One ball and two strikes to count. The pitch. Off the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two is low, 3-2. Three and two, the count to Suits. Three-two pitch is launched foul. Still 3-2. Nia Vogel, who is the #1 pitcher for Lee, is warming up in the bullpen. Vogel has not pitched in relief this season. The 3-2 pitch is a called strike 3. Fifth strikeout for Barnett, one down here in the 6th. And Caitlin Hodges comes to the plate. Hodges is 2 for 2. She has doubled and singled, knocked in 3. Fouled away, 1 strike. Hodges now up to 276 for the season. The 0-1 pitch. Taken for a ball, 1-1. One ball, 1 strike. The pitch. Hit towards third, and it's caught on a short hop. No, it's a line drive, double play. Line drive double play as Patton made the catch right off the dirt and throws across to double off Hughes. No runs in the inning, a hit, an error, and nobody left. We go to the 7th. Lee 12, Tusculum 7 on the Pioneer Sports Network. We go to the top of the 7th inning. Tusculum trailing Lee by a score of 12-7. And we have a pinch hitter leading off the top of the 7th inning. It'll be Janina Remley.
Pinch hitting for the Flames, number 24, Janina Rimley.
Remley batting for Goodridge here in the top of the 7th inning. Remley at the plate this season, a .214 average, 4 home runs, 18 runs batted in. She has started 25 games. As she is the regular catcher, the number 1 catcher, if you will, for Lee. Speaking of catchers, Tusculum with a substitution as well as Kaylee Higgins in behind the plate for Chloe Freischman here in the 7th. Reynolds' 1-0 pitch is low, 2 balls and no strikes. Reynolds started the inning at 134 pitches. And Tusculum coach Julie Hubner coming out to the circle. Two balls and no strikes to count. So Coach Hubner out there having a discussion with Reynolds and Higgins while the infielders have their own discussion. Obviously, some relaxed players out there as the infield shares a laugh as they return to action. 2-0 the count to Remley. Remley, a senior out of San Diego, California. 2-0 pitch. Called strike, 2-1. 2-1 the count. Pitch. Called strike, 2-2. Two and two. The pitch. Change up. Called strike 3. Second strikeout for Reynolds. One out here in the second.
Number 17, Alexis Scalzo.
And Alexis Scalzo will come to the plate. Scalzo has singled, walked, doubled, and grounded out. She has scored 2 runs. Reynolds, their 140th pitch of the game in their first strike. Reynolds, 140 pitches, 80 of them strikes, 60 of them balls. She has struck out 2 and walked 5. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, nothing in 2. But remarkably, Reynolds is not on the hook for the loss. If you recall, in the 3rd inning, Michaela Bush came in a 3-3 tie and walked 3 batters. So all 3 of them scored. And those are the runners of decision. So Bush, who didn't retire anybody, could get the loss here. The 0-2 is outside 1-2. But Tusculum still has the last at bats in the 7th inning. One and 2 the count. The pitch. Low, 2-2. Two and 2 the count to Scalzo. The pitch. Inside, 3-2. 3-2 the count to Scalzo. The pitch. Popped up, shallow center, and Hodges makes the catch for the second out. 2 up and 2 down here in the 7th. And Lainey Harris will come to the plate.
Second baseman number 18, Lainey Harris.
Harris is flying to right, singled in a run, been hit by a pitch and grounded out, and she has also scored a run. First pitch is beaten foul at the plate, 1 strike. Elsewhere in the South Atlantic Conference, Carson Newman leads Coker 9-2 in the 4th inning in Game 2 of their doubleheader. Newberry leads Claflin 5-0 in the 3rd inning in Game 2 of their doubleheader. The 0-1 pitch, up and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. And Queens and Anderson, they are 2-2 in the 5th in Game 2 of their doubleheader. UVA-Y's doubleheader against Emory and Henry was canceled. 1-1 the count to Harris. The pitch is launched to left field. Newport towards the line, and she will make the catch as the wind helped out with that one as well. 1-2-3 7th inning for Keelan Reynolds. And a gutty 7-inning effort there by Reynolds as she approached 150 pitches in the ball game. 12-7 lead. We go to the bottom of the 7th on the Pioneer Sports Network. Go to the bottom of the 7th inning, leading Tusculum by a score of 12-7. Sydney Lee, who is the DP, now goes to catch here as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Last chance for the Pioneers. It'll be Madison McGinnis leading off the bottom half of the 7th inning. McGinnis batted with the bases loaded in the 4th and drew a walk. And at that time brought Tusculum within 11-7. That wound up being the last, or made it 11-6 game. Check that. The 0-1 pitch is hit foul towards third. No balls and 2 strikes to count to McGinnis. McGinnis, Newport, Lazo due up for the Pioneers here in the 7th. Again, this is Game 1 of our doubleheader. Game 2 will be coming up about 30 minutes after the conclusion of this one. The 0-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Fly to left, grounded to short, and hit a sacrifice fly. Pitches outside for a ball, 1-0. As Barnett will be up to her 100th pitch. Reynolds threw 148 pitches for the Pioneers. The 1-0 is beaten to third. Patton on the big hop throws across for the second out. 2 outs here in the 7th, and the last chance for the Pioneers is Haley Lazo. Lazo is 0 for 3. She has flied to right twice and lined out to left. Now batting .286. Barnett's pitch, called strike. No balls and 1 strike the count. The pitch, high 1-1. One the count to Lazo. This one's hit to short. Scalzo in time, and that will do it. Game 1 is over, and Lee wins it by a score of 12-7. Final totals for Lee: 12 runs, 13 hits, 4 errors. They left 11. Tusculum 7 runs, 8 hits, 3 errors. They left 2. The winning pitcher is Madison Barnett. She's 9-9. The losing pitcher, Michaela Bush, 0-1. Time of the game was 2 hours and 17 minutes. So Lee gets the victory in Game 1 by a score of 12-7. They got 3 in the first, 3 in the third, 5 in the fourth. Tusculum with 3 in the second and 4 in the fourth. It wasn't enough as Lee gets the victory by the score of 12-7. Game 2 of our doubleheader will start approximately 5:45. We'll have the coverage for you here along the Pioneer Sports Network. For our producer, Dom Donnelly, I'm Jim Miller. Your final score, Lee 12, Tusculum 7. More Tusculum softball coming up in about